of the cross, people see the cross as something terrible. It was terrible. It brings us into a place, Gethsemane, that it declares not my will. They were born to do a divine plan, that which
this might be a good time for me to introduce myself today as a chaplain. But you have to understand, I'm retired Command Sergeant Major Bobby McAllister, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the chaplaincy program. And I've got with me a great friend, and we're gonna actually express about the chaplaincy and talk about the hope is in you. But the first thing we want to do is I want to give her an opportunity to introduce herself and let you know a little bit about who she is. And I'll let her tell you who she is.
Well, thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it. And I do want to say thank you for your service for the United States.
Thank you
very much. I appreciate your service. Appreciate also your school as well. I'm being registered with the Congress, so I want to thank you for that as well.
Thank you.
For everything you've done, and also for the body of Christ, for the churches and stuff that you've built over time as well, and the time you've spent a little bit of time you spent in Africa as well. So yeah, thank you for that. Good morning, everyone. My name's Deborah Parks. I've been a technologist for over 25 years, so I've been in the technology field for quite a long time. I'm a true patriot, true mom, and I have several degrees. I probably could plaster half of a wall or maybe a full wall, front to back. So I won't go into my degrees, so I'll leave that go. The other thing is I am a fine artist as well, so my background kind of fluctuates between the creative arts and the technology. And in most universities, you will find the computer science department right next to the art department.
Okay.
So there is a correlation there as we learn to begin to create things. I think being a true patriot, I hate to say conspiracy theorist, but I've read a lot of books. I've seen a lot of men over the last 20, 25 years. Kind of one of my missions is we need to start our own banks. Okay, so that's something that's not done. And the other thing we need to do is take care of our veterans.
Absolutely.
We don't need men laying on the street that has served this country. So from that perspective, I think we have really fallen as a nation for not taking care of those men who dedicated their lives, some of them.
Right.
And if you think about the best sharpshooter, sniper, who ended up killing himself because of the traumatic stress syndrome. Even though he did come back, he had a set of professional people around him, but he still wasn't able to hold it together.
Right. Okay.
And I think with your service on this chaplain service and the spiritual care provider, having a balance of both, because these men after they've come out of service, they need that support.
Yes.
They need I don't want to say a 10-step program or a 12-step program, but everybody's different coming out of service, depending on what type of combat, depending on what type of whatever you've provided, and they need a way to rehabilitate themselves. Right. And as a nation, we haven't had any opportunity to create such programs. I don't believe that has been successful.
Right,
and that's kind of, so I think we would, what my key is, we really want to hear about the chaplain service that you've created and that you provided, and how people can get involved, how they can support you.
Right.
In that process.
Yes, one of the things that I've always thought when I came out of Vietnam, because I spent 20 years and wouldn't even talk about combat, would not be in a conversation, and one of the reasons why I ended up pursuing and understanding of post-traumatic stress, because when I ended up with prostate cancer,
Oh,
then all of a sudden I went through the program and found out it was linked to Agent Orange in Vietnam.
yes.
And so when I found out that I had contracted prostate cancer from Agent Orange, I began to ask myself a question: what other effects has combat caused me to have
Right.
that not talking about it is really living in denial?
Yeah. I can understand that. Well, and to your point, living in denial, my father had a family, my grandmother had a family of 12, and those 7 or 8 men were all servicemen, from Navy to Marine to Air Force to U.S. Army. And I had one particular uncle who come back from service out of World War II, but like you say, do the combat, do the things that he's seen, he never spoke about it.
Right.
I mean, he was just totally shut down.
We don't.
Didn't mean he didn't operate as, you know, a steel mill worker or
Right.
his family or anything else like that. But to talk about his historical work
Right.
and service, and he held a Purple Heart, and he kept that to the chest. And I found out almost like 3 months before my father
Yeah.
passed. I was
Yeah.
just amazed. Of course, I did. I mean, here you have somebody who was a great, super honors and everything else, but it was like all that accomplishment for that period of time in his life was buried.
Right.
He just literally buried it, and there was no discussion. You could ask him, but he said there's no discussion.
See, back in the day, back then, talking to a psychologist or
Yes.
talking to what we call a shrink,
Yeah.
I mean, it was taboo. You know, you did not want nobody to set you on the couch and talking about your problems. We was too macho for that. I mean,
Too much alpha
inwardly-
male. I don't go there.
Right. I mean,
To your point,
in relationship, because here's how I ended up being evaluated for any disability. Because when I came out, you know, hey, I served my country. That's what I did,
Right.
and I served it with honor, with pride, and well decorated. So and
Certainly,
never
sir.
talked about that. Matter
Yes.
of fact, very few people know me as you see this now.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I remember going to the disabled veterans in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I used to love to play pinochle, you know,
Oh, okay.
and I would play
Yeah.
pinochle with the guys, and I was just quiet playing pinochle and got into relationship, and they were Marines.
Yeah.
And one of them looked at me and he said, "You retired as a command sergeant major?" I said, "Yep." He said, "You think you're healthy, don't you?" I said, "Well, I feel pretty good."
You're still in good
Yeah.
shape for your
And-
age. You're
and-
in excellent shape.
And he
sir.
says, "I'll tell you what." He said, "Let me order your records, and we want to go through your records, and I'll show you how damaged you are."
Wow.
Truly.
You want to go into shit.
He ordered our records, and we sat down and went page by page in my records and
Right.
found out every major bone in my body had been damaged from either airborne, jumping out of airplanes, landed, or something. So going into that is what caused me to want to do something in this program. And what people have to understand is a YouTube channel, A Diamond of Brilliant Cut. And matter of fact, even those, if they take a picture of that, we'll bring up the YouTube channel,
Okay.
and this will bring up my website.
Okay.
So that's why I
Nice.
have it in the background. And I really feel like the answer for veterans is veterans.
Yes, I would agree. I would absolutely agree on that. It's one of the key factors I think that kept my other uncle stable was my dad.
Mm-hmm.
After he had come out of service, you know, brothers stick together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and brothers not only stick together in service, regardless of any military service, but natural brothers also stick together.
Right.
Okay, even though there may be infighting, I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying there's differences. My grandmother had a rule for that. If you sit down at my dinner table on Sunday or Saturday afternoon, you men keep your fighting outside that front door and your hats off and come in and act like gentlemen sitting at the table. You got any fights, you keep them outside that door.
Right.
You don't fight at the table. I
So-
mean, that was one of her rules. But to go back to the service, I also had a cousin serve in Vietnam. And one of the problems he had after doing his service or duty that took place for our country, he was told to take off his uniform and completely strip down and be in civilian clothes after he come back because of the rhetoric of the American public against the Vietnam vets. He says, here I've been in service and there's no way to be honored or anything. We got no parade. We've got absolutely, all we're getting is, I don't want to say spitballs and rotten tomatoes for coming back from Vietnam. And my cousin was just, he still is very, he at least talks about it with me a little bit.
Right.
But I think there's a lot more that has went on in that process that he's withheld, and I think he could, even benefit from
Absolutely.
something like this.
You
as
think
well.
about they label us as baby killers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And that's
literally-
probably one of those things that he had to go through.
And just think about it. Not only did people have to deal with the war thing, but
Yeah.
then when I came back, we had to deal with the race thing.
Yeah.
So we because I was in Vietnam and spent most of my time with 8 people, 4 blacks, 4 whites.
Right.
We had each other's back, so there was no problem in us sticking together in combat. But when we came back, now we got to deal with these natural things. So all these things had to be dealt with.
Yes.
And literally, whenever, and I've written 3 books.
Okay.
4 books for the military. One for the commanders, the other for enlisted, and I did the one for post-traumatic stress.
Okay.
Now it's amazing whenever I wrote the book on biodynamic stress management for all people. My whole focus was not just military, but military is what I knew.
Right.
And I know that all people are affected with trauma in some way.
Yeah.
And so on the front of this thing, I says, how did we get here?
Yes.
I asked the question, how did we get
How
here?
did we get here? Yeah.
We got here by some kind of human element that traumatized us. You look at rape victims, you look at people that's mistreated, you look at homes that is
Devastated.
malfunctioned.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, it's reality. So with this program, I want to deal with reality. And the reality is we've been traumatized.
Yes.
And the real issue with that is now there has to be an awareness
Yes.
and a knowledge, and people have to have a space where they can be free, honest, and talk about their pain.
Yeah.
Because most people deny their pain because they think that's macho. But the truth of the matter is, crying is good for the soul. So when I look at that, now you have to understand about prevention. Prevention is what we need to prepare for so we can equip the next generation so they don't have to walk through the trauma without relating.
Right.
And the way that has to come into being is being educated.
Absolutely.
So what we bring to the table is the awareness. We bring to the table prevention. We bring to the table the reality of people having conversation and education.
And education.
And education, because one of the things, and I'll bring this into the present reality. I just had cataract surgery.
Okay.
And one of the things that happened is they nicked a blood vessel in my eye.
Oh.
So the issue is I can see, but I got blood around my eyes. I'm traumatized. Because the psychological effect of it was greater than the physical effect. And until I got to the specialist to tell me what happened,
Right.
I didn't have peace. You see
Makes
what I'm
sense.
saying?
Yeah.
So-
I do see what you're saying. Yeah.
So education brings them to an awareness. It's not as bad as you think.
Right.
If you can find out, there's hope in you.
Yes.
So
Right.
that's what the chaplains have to be. It's not just preaching.
No, I think that's a misnomer. It's not necessarily chaplains should not be just preaching. They should be able to listen, to help somebody at least open up and process their
Yeah.
pain. I think it's important to process some of that,
Right.
and I think they will only open up to somebody who's historically been a vet because they can't relate to. I'm not saying they can't relate to the other male people in society that have not been through service, but
Right.
they've got to be able to relate to somebody. You've been on the same combat zone I've been in.
Yeah.
You've been in the same set of training I've been in. You've been through boot camp like I've been through. You know, you process those lines, and when you have somebody when you've got your other brothers damaged that's come out of this, you want to be able. I think the chaplain service has to not only provide a listening ear, but like you say, an education and how you process through that, so you can go back out and I hate to say this word, function in society,
Yeah.
but you got to be able to function when you come back home.
Absolutely.
And I think you've got some keys for that. I think you've got a great program for it.
Yeah.
My question is, where can somebody find your books? Where do they find these books? Okay, where
On
do they find these
Amazon.
books, Dr. McAllister?
Amazon.
Okay,
I've got 14 books on Amazon.
okay,
If you type in Bobby McAllister,
all right,
it'll pull them up.
okay.
And in all actuality, most of them are ebooks.
Well, it doesn't
Now,
matter.
if you want the hard copy, only thing you have to do is BobbyMcAllister.com. Go to my website.
Okay,
See the address. Let me know. And what I really would love to do, I would love to be in front of people. And what I did is set them up so they're with 48-hour book, and I can actually order the books and have them drop shipped
nice.
to places.
Excellent.
Because I think a copy of a hard copy book is still good. I
would
love
agree.
hard copy.
I have a huge electronic library, and I also have a huge
Yeah.
physical library. So I have both,
Right.
and I
think
not
you
to
need
say
it.
I do too. There is some of the books that have been absolutely banned on the internet.
Yeah.
There's been also some of the books that have been altered,
Right.
okay, by I don't know AI or the internet. That has occurred, and that's why I think hard copy is so critical.
See-
It's critical because you've got to have the original version besides the electronic
Right.
version. Nothing wrong with electronic, because there'd be times we live in a very busy society, and you want to be able to play it on the radio or play it in your car, play it at home. You want to be
Right.
listening to it while you've got to function. Like for me, it'd be like feeding the kids
Right,
or
right.
laundry or whatever we're doing here at home. But yeah,
See,
I mean,
I'm excited about my books. One of the reasons why they're already published, printed, and sitting there on demand. AI can't alter them.
there you go.
So I've got 80 writings that's beyond AI's control.
Right.
So what I do is I order them as is, and see if you ever change them, then AI gonna change it. But like this book here, Beyond 66,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the book where I was in Vietnam when Martin Luther King was assassinated, and the Lord has said to me, "I have preserved you."
Oh.
So this is the season where we're in, and when I printed this book, I never uploaded it. So the only way you can get this book is through
Hard
me.
copy.
And the reason why is I would like to show up with this book for people to be able to get it, because my life story is in this book.
That makes sense.
All from the time I graduated school in 1966 to present, 2 years ago, is in this book. And so I think that whenever somebody is going to read something, you get more of a reality if you meet the author.
That's true. You learn more from the author and their personality or presence when you get in somebody's presence.
Yeah.
And not to say I can read people far or near.
That's
okay,
it.
but that for me, that's a gift. That's not everybody can't
Right.
necessarily do that. So one of the questions that I have: where do people get in contact to maybe start a chaplain service, or how does that work?
One of the things, they probably need to email me.
Okay.
And that's
You want to take emails instead of phone calls? I get it. I can understand that.
Yeah. And my phone, you get so many.
I know.
So if you're gonna call me,
Right.
text me before you call me, and text me and let me know who you are.
Okay.
So
that way
somebody
you can
is
help.
text me in my phone and let me know who you are, then it will be in my phone, and I'll know that you know me.
Okay.
Because I don't answer a lot of calls because they're just spam,
Because, yeah, they're
and you don't want to open up information because of all the viruses. So if you're gonna email me, let me know what it's about. If you use my phone and you're gonna text me, let me know who you are. So when it comes up, I'll know that you want to talk to me.
okay.
See, because
That's okay.
and the phone on my hip is the phone I have. That's it.
I hear you. That's your digital ID.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but
in essence, but
But I just I have a heart. Matter of fact, one of the things I said on the broadcast. See this here? You see this anywhere else?
no, sir.
Secretary of War.
Oh, okay.
He wears this.
Oh.
Rakkasan.
Okay. Okay.
Rakkasan,
Okay.
the 101st. He
Right.
was there.
Oh.
So he prides in that. I was the first sergeant of Rakkasans at Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Ooh. Okay.
And I actually worked with the military police and ran the correctional custody facility for 2 years. So all of this I have experienced. I literally would love to get back in the face of troops again. Because one of the things that Mildred says to me all the time, she says, when you're talking to young people, they're so excited. Yeah, because they like the real thing.
Yeah. And having the real thing, being able to relate to somebody, it's like being in real shoe leather.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
You know, it's not online. It's not an advertised paid program.
Right.
And a lot of times, a lot of chaplain services are just that. They're services back to the community or to a group of people that really need the help.
Because one of the things I want to do with the chaplain services is Kingdom Development Centers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've helped plant a Kingdom Development Center in Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
and they will be one that is going to help me administratively. And
Okay.
most of those are already qualified as chaplains.
Okay.
That's why my goal is to have at least 50 chaplains certified
Okay.
by August.
Okay.
And you one of them. By the way, so as I'm putting the structure together, just know you're part of the foundation of the structure.
Okay.
And as we develop this, then I'll bring others, ministry, apostles that's connected to me, and people that have been in my university/college, and they're everywhere.
Okay.
So what I'm actually doing is giving them an opportunity now to come back into the gathering to further certify them to go into ministry to a greater level.
Okay.
Yeah, because we want a united nation that is one like God wants.
Yes.
And united means all nations.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Every nation.
Every nation doesn't leave anybody out.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because when you look at the vision of America, that's why it says the vision has been given. Why do we choose? See, George Washington was given a vision by the angel of the Lord. And my whole university is based on the foundation of George Washington and the vision. So I've developed that, and the Lord is the one that prompted me to do that. So when I talk about the vision, it takes us back to the original vision in the form of the Republic. So in all actuality, I think America should be Son of Republic, son of gods.
Mhm.
That's the vision.
Makes
Because in the vision it kept says, Son of Republic, look and learn. 7 times.
Look and learn.
Look and learn. So
Look and learn.
what I believe the angel was saying of the Lord is that I'm going to bring you through a process, and I want you to learn, and then you're going to come to a time that you can look back at what you learned and reestablish America the way that it should have been based on the vision. See, because
Yeah.
I ask business people all the time, how do you have constitution and bylaws without a vision? You can't.
You can't.
So
You can't. For me, who have, since I've ran many different teams, global teams, teams in America for installing computer systems, taking it from tactical and fixing tactical systems that's down, kind of like Red Adair, who used to put out fires on the oil wells, but also taking a strategic vision or a goal that a company wants and being able to implement that with teams. But you have to get the team to a vision.
right.
There has to be a statement of mission, and here's our vision, and everybody's on the same page, regardless whether you're sitting there on the help desk, you're sitting there coding, you're sitting there worrying about what it looks like
Right.
on the website, or it's back end systems.
And those are the kind of things you're going to help us with. I'm gonna put you on notice. Those
Put me
are the
on
kind of
notice
things
now.
that you'll be
Okay.
able to help us with. And we're going to do this thing together, because one of the things that happen is the expertise that you have, the expertise that I have, the expertise that Mildred have, we bring all these expertises together. Now we form a camaraderie that can function. She
Right.
does what she does, I do what I do, you do what, and nobody's in nobody's way.
Right.
So we're just functioning. So you get up in the morning with understanding this is what I do. So it's a lifestyle.
Lifestyle, absolutely. So one other question too for the people out there in the audience, when we talk about chaplains, just clarification from your side. It's not tied to a religious sect. It's not tied to a denominational.
Right.
I'm in this box or I'm in this box, and what I mean by that is, I'm Catholic or I'm
Right.
Protestant or I'm X, I'm Y, I'm Z. I only believe in my higher power. People have several different things, but I think the audience needs to know your position on that as well.
Right. In other words, we keep it in such a way that the hope is in you. So out of that, it brings into what it speaks of as biotechnomics, and that's the science that God gave me. And what that really says is divinity in humanity through technology establishing a whole new economy. So simply saying, Christ in you the hope.
Hope of glory.
So in all actuality, we are actually saying we want to build an umbrella that people can come to, that regardless of what you believe in, we can
Right.
come to one place of belief. And it's not religion, it's relationship.
That's a good one.
So when we start talking about relationship, and it's not just any government, it's the government of God in you. So what we want to do is bring people into an understanding that the vision is Him,
Yeah,
the Almighty,
right,
the Supreme.
right.
So what we're bringing people into the understanding of sovereignty. That seemed to be a big word, but it's really not.
That is so true, and I think we've been so brainwashed. I don't know if that's the proper
Okay.
terminology, but we've been so brainwashed by our circumstances and by our governments, where we have no more sovereignty left.
See?
Okay, we've got no more sovereignty concerning our bank accounts. We've got no more. I have to have a fishing license. I've got to have a building permit to add on my home or take off of my home. I had to have a permit to drive my car down the road. I mean, it's like an endless set of rules and regulations, and I think and even for those online who have a further understanding, you know, we're operating underneath a straw man, underneath a corporation.
Okay.
I do believe our current sitting president has dismissed the corporation. I believe the corporation is dismissed. But again,
So now, being it dismissed, with this, it gives a platform of bringing people into one vision, a united nation. See, one nation under God.
right,
And it's not many gods, it's one God.
one God, yes.
And the one God is the one that you know that you have experienced.
Yeah.
It's not religion, it's relationship. That's why when you start talking about chaplains, we're not talking about somebody that functions by rules.
Right,
We talk about somebody that can function out of a lifestyle to relate to people that's hurting in such a way you can give them comfort and an umbrella to heal.
that makes sense.
So here
And don't you also believe that, you know, some people, I would imagine, that's come out of the situation, out of their service of duty for the country, end up in a depression. And I think they can come out of a depression because in some ways depression's not real. It's become a mindset, not being able to fit back into society. So they're looking for a chaplain service. They're looking for someone to guide them out of not being able to talk,
right.
not being able to feel like I'm worthy to go be a mechanic again
Right.
and go
So
mow
so
lawn,
that's why
whatever.
we want to do it outside the camp. In other words, what I'm saying is I don't want one of the most traumatic things that's happened now, and I'm gonna get in trouble for this.
Well, that's okay.
Is
I'm
religion.
sure
It's religion.
Well-
Religion versus relationship. Religion rules people. A relationship with God frees people. And we are looking to free people.
No, we're really going to get in trouble because I think this is my humble opinion, and since we are live broadcasting, I will say I think the American church is out of order.
Oh,
Okay, nothing against my brothers and sisters who are in a church.
Right.
Okay, so you do need to be underneath a teacher.
covering. You need a covering.
You need a covering.
So we're actually giving people the opportunity. Let us cover you apostolically
Yes.
and speak into you from a relational perspective.
And you know, Elon had brought this up. Elon Musk, if you're listening.
Okay, all right.
He
Talk
brought-
to him.
You know, he had brought this up, and I kind of retweeted back and stated that what would it be like to live with 12 men, let's say, that are extremely good in their professions, that I would consider alpha males. That's the only way I can kind of frame it. And these guys have got very strong personalities. But what would it be like to live with those guys for 3.5 years, eating and hanging out together and going from place to place as they move along? And you've got men with strong personalities. I don't know if they've ever had a fist fight or not among themselves, but who knows? We don't know. That's not recorded in the scriptures. And then you only have, at that particular time, I would believe, Matthew and Luke that could read and write.
Yeah.
Matthew's a tax collector. Luke could read and write because he is a physician. Mark, we don't know on occupation. John, I believe, learned later in life because he was trained by his brothers. Okay, so you've got the rest of these 10 guys, or 9 guys, they're not trained by the system,
Right.
but they're good in their profession, whether they were fishermen, whatever they were doing in their professions. So what's it like to live with 12 men, have those 12 men live together, hang out together, begin to get a vision in common together? You don't see that today in society. You do not see 12 alpha males hanging out in the same household. You know, bless my grandmother who raised 8 men in the same household.
Right.
I can't imagine having 8 boys. I mean, no wonder why she had so much testosterone running around. No wonder why she said, take your fights outside that house and don't bring him inside the house, because inside the house it doesn't go there. I mean, anyway.
And I addressed that in the Apostles of the Spirit. I addressed how the apostles were trained.
And
they really walked, lived with Jesus, and made mistakes in his face.
Absolutely, they all
See
made
what I'm
mistakes.
saying?
Yeah, they all had mistakes.
That's why people need to learn to walk together. and see each other's mistake without judging their mistakes because they're human.
Right, absolutely. And
Okay.
okay. We got called.
We got to unplug. So one of the things
We should close.
that I really want
your
to
chaplain service.
do is one is we do and we are implementing a crisis management program and spiritual care chaplaincy, and we'll let you know more of that as we go in. See, now chaplaincy is not just chaplain religion. Chaplaincy is people that have a relationship with God, that they can relate to people in their particular discipline and be able to bring them into a single mindset that we are a united nation under the spirit of one God, the Lord Jesus, in that sovereignty. So I'll let you bring us into a close and we'll close out.
All right, sounds good. For the viewers and listeners out there, even if you're not a believer, you're still welcome into the chaplain service. So I don't want to leave out those who are of another faith, another belief system. So we certainly want you to participate as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is just as important as the brothers who have come out of service that are believers but need a place to go and to find that home or find that right relationship. You do need right relationships in your life. So I think that's very important. So I would encourage everyone online, please get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Let's help these veterans. Let's get them back off the streets. Let's get them some help so they can function in this world.
And be confident.
And be confident. There is hope.
The hope is in you.
Yeah, there is hope.
Give it to somebody else.
Of the glory of the cross. People see the cross as something terrible. It was terrible.
I